Hello! Vlogoween, day 15. Oh, that rhymes. Okay. Today I have, wasn't exactly tagged, but Mrs. Brembles, Anna, did a video the other day on what's in my pencil case, and I commented on it and she said, oh, you have to show yours. So here we go. As you may know, I have lots of pencil cases. What I tend to do is put different things in different cases, and that kind of helps me not have to carry everything around all the time. So let's start with the pencil case that's not really a pencil case. That's this one. This is my document wallet, my travel wallet. It's got a little thing on the front for pens. I usually just keep my Lamy in here and a friction pen, just in case I want something that I can erase. But it also means that I can just grab this. If I just want to go and do some journaling, I can just grab this because I can write with my Lamy. Oh, Gypsy is so on edge today. I don't know what's up with her, but she's barking at everything. Anyway, yeah, if I just want to go and journal in my Hobonichi or something like that, I can just grab this and I've got everything I need. I also carry a nail file, which is in just about every pencil case I own because I'm terrible for breaking my nails. And this one is papery bits. So at the moment it's set up for Halloween. So I've got all sorts of bits of paper and stuff that fits my colour schemes that I'm using. I've got my spare calendar there, that should be in there. Got some bits that I've printed out, some note paper, appropriately Halloween coloured sticky notes, my ghost sticky notes, some Project Life cards in steampunky spell. I think this is from the Steampunk Spells session collection. My stickers that I use in my diary, my actual diary stickers, lots of those. My stencils, not all my stencils, I've got the Hobonichi stencil, but that's actually in my Hobonichi. My highlighting stickers and some sticky chronodexes, because I don't always use my Midori where I've printed my chronodexes. I like to have these. They're just printed on sticky paper. So you just take the back off and off you go. And I've got a waterproof pen there. So if I want to do some sketching with waterproof pen, or writing with my Lamy, or making notes with my friction, I can do all of it. It's all there, it's all in one place. Then I've got Kevin. Oh, Jeanette gave me this, isn't he awesome? He's going to be in my pencil case until I lose him or something. I love Kevin, but Kevin was not big enough for the bits and pieces I need to carry for my planning. So I'm using him as my travel journal kit. So if I want to art journal out and about, I've got my 3 water brushes, pencil, non-waterproof black pen, waterproof black pen, white pen, and my little travel set of paints, my Daler Brownies. Been used a lot, as you can see. So it's handy to just have that all in one place, and if I want to take it all together, I can just pick up one pencil case and off I go. Then I have my drawing box. So it's not technically a pencil case. In fact, really it's not a pencil case at all. It's a lunch box. And you can see it's got lots of pockets and things. I like this. In the top here, I've got my pan pastels. I've never bought a pan pastel, but people keep giving them to me because they either end up with duplicates or they end up with broken ones like this, and they say, well, I've replaced mine, do you want this one to play with? And I'm like, yeah, all right then. I've also got some old eyeshadows. They've gone off, so because they're more than 3 years old, so I can't use them on my face anymore. So I just chuck them in here to use as pan pastels because it's basically the same stuff. In here I have, oh, I've got an eraser missing. There we go. I've got my putty eraser. I've got my good pencil sharpener, which I use exclusively for my coloured pencils and my Conti pencils. And then I've got my other pencil sharpener, which I use just for, you know, whatever pencil I happen to be using, but I don't really use it an awful lot. I've got, I use mechanical pencils mostly. And then underneath there I've got a little pair of scissors. Always handy. And in this side I've got some graphite powder, which gets everywhere, so it's in its own little thing. And I've also got some black and dark grey eyeshadow, which also gets everywhere, so keeping those all together is a good idea. Underneath this is all my drawing stuff. So I've got inside here another pencil case. I've got the TARDIS. I love this little thing. It's so handy for drawing because I put my colour pencils in here, my Conti pencils, and it stands up. And then I can see what I've got. So these are all my Conti pencils. I've got a couple of these. This is the Stabilo pencil, the Aquarellable all surface pencils. They write on everything. Claire Horner gave me that. Got paint in my hair. I've got the most used Prismacolors that I use for colouring faces. I've got my blenders for my pastel pencils. And I've got a black pencil in here somewhere that's the watercolour pencil that everybody raves about. I personally don't see what's so special about it, but yeah, you know, each to their own. So that's really handy. I can just chuck this out, put it on the desk, and there's that. And then I've also got my charcoal and pastel pencils in here. This was originally a set of 12 charcoal pencils. I've just taken some of them out. I've actually got one in here that is, or I should have one in there, that's already sharpened. I must have moved it. But there's one in there, should be one in there that's already sharpened. I've got two spares. I've got all my pastel pencils here. I've got a white pencil and my other blender. That's the one that I use the most. It's just the right size for a blender for me. And then I've got my 2B drawing pencil, which I use for shading. And then at the bottom here I've got a random elastic band because, I don't know, sometimes I need an elastic band to go around the outside of my box. But of course I can swap that now for one of my really big ass bands. I love my big ass bands. Look how much they stretch. Look at that. Woohoo! It stretches from, how long is that? That's the full length of my arm from elbow to fingertip plus another 4 inches. That's quite a stretch on a 9-inch band. Anyway, yeah, I can put one of these around it just in case it wants to pop open. But the clasp is quite good on this. I've got another of those Pilot G-Tech water-soluble pens. I love these things. I've got my red and blue mechanical pencils. They've actually got red and blue lead in them for underdrawings. I have my regular mechanical pencil. This is not actually the one I like to draw with. The one I like to draw with is in my other pencil case, but I draw so often that I tend to carry that around with me. This is just a spare in case I don't have that pencil case with me. I've still got a pencil. I've got my white distress marker. This is the Tim Holtz White Picket Fence one. It's very good as a whitener. And I've got a Micron 005. Now I don't really like Microns. I tend to wear down the nibs too quickly because they're felt nibs like that. Ooh, that's a good picture, look at that. The felt nibs, and I prefer metal nibs. So I would normally draw with this pen, which is the metal nib like the Colito. It's a 0.38 gel pen, it's just a bog standard gel pen, I just picked it up somewhere cheap. So that's my favourite pen to draw with, that or my Colito. But yeah, at a push, I'll use the Micron. It kind of depends what sort of surface I'm working on. There's some surfaces that gel pens just don't like working on, so I'll use the Micron. It's just really just there as a backup. I don't like drawing with it. So that is my drawing box case. All goes nicely back in there. This is a little bit big for the box. And there we go. And I could put one of my big ass bands on it like that to keep it together if I wanted to. Or even that might make a handle. Aha! There we go. I was complaining I didn't have a handle for this thing. Oh, it's got a handle. There we go. And finally, I've got my pencil case that carries everything else. Check it out. ABBA called and they want their pencil case back. I bought this in WH Smith's. It was on offer. It didn't have this on it. This is just a strap that I happen to have spare from, I think an old camera actually. One of those old Instamatic cameras, the long rectangular ones. But I really like this chain and I've always hung on to it and I've never really found a use for it. And then I thought, hang on a minute, I could put it on here. And then when I'm carrying my books, I can just slip that on my wrist and then I've got my pencil case and, you know, it makes it easier to carry a cup of coffee and several journals up the stairs. But it did come with this cute little crystal thingy. Isn't that lovely? Look at the colours. It's so pretty. So pretty. And then, of course, there's the glitz. It actually looks better at a distance, and as pretty as it looks on camera, honestly, it looks so much better in real life. It does look very pretty on camera, but it looks amazing actually to see it. So this is a 3-part pencil case. As you can see at the back, I've got some washi tape. This is actually a Velcroed thing. Now, if you're only going to put like a fountain pen in the back, it's really handy to just have that Velcro closure. But I prefer to just shove a couple of washi tapes in here, and then you just close it together. It's just enough to hold them in. I actually carry my washi tapes around on a bit of whatever ones I'm using at the moment, on a bit of string. It's just easier, and I swap them out. So at the moment I'm using Halloween colours, and you know, come Christmas I'll swap them for Christmas colours, and November I'll swap them for something else I fancy using. And then let's start at the front. So the front has got a flap, and it's also got a pocket. It's got a zip pocket. Now this is really useful if you've just got bits and pieces that you want to quickly just shove in. That's really handy, but I think it's a bit of overkill having a zip as well as a flap. I would have preferred to have the flap with 2 bits of Velcro, just holding it down there so that it was a bit more secure. In here I've got the rest of my colouring pencils. Now these are the ones that I use all the time. Everything I do, I use these pencils. So, oh, there's my black pencil I was looking for. So in here I've got a black pencil, a white pastel pencil, a cream pencil, various skin-toned Prismacolors and Conti pencils and Conti pastel pencils. Ah, there's my charcoal pencil. Oh yeah, that's why I put it in there, I remember. I was using it. I've got my black aquarelle, that's again the Stabilo one that writes on everything. And I've got my very, very, very tiny blender. These are exactly the same as the paper blenders. Don't get all hung up on what are these. These are silicone ones, so if you do a lot of pastel work, it's quite handy because you can just run them underwater and they clean themselves. You just soak them in water overnight and they come out clean in the morning. They come in lots of different sizes. I use them a lot, so it's useful for me to have one that's cleanable. You can see it's just a piece of silicone. It looks like it would be like the kind of thing you would put makeup on with, but it is silicone. It's hard to describe, but it's plasticky. It's not paper or sponge or anything. These are exactly the same as paper stumps, exactly the same. I just don't like paper stumps. They set my teeth on edge, so I don't use paper stumps. Ugh. There's something about dry paper and dry cardboard, it just, sets my teeth on edge. It's horrible. So I prefer this. So that's what lives in that section. And it's just big enough. There should actually be a white pencil in there as well. I don't know why there is a white charcoal but not a white pencil. I usually have a white pencil in everything. And then in the centre here is my main pencil case, and this is, I've got my permanent and non-permanent, permanent and repositionable adhesive runners. This is just easier than carrying around a big thing of glue. This is the glue sticks I usually use. I have these on my desk, but these are just easier. Because they have covers and everything, if my pencil case gets too full, I can just take these out and chuck them in the bottom of my bag and they don't get ruined. Whereas these, they have a tendency for the lids to come off or for the packing to get cracked if you drop your bag or anything. So I prefer to keep this on my desk and just carry these around. They're a bit easier. This is the permanent one. So as it suggests, you stick things down and it stays stuck. This is the repositionable one, which is like the back of a Post-it. So you can take any piece of paper, stick this on the back and it becomes a Post-it. And it's really handy for those Post-its that don't want to stick. Because in my experience, the only Post-its that want to stick are either the really cheap Chinese ones that stick and never come off again, or the Post-it ones which stick and stay stuck properly and can be restuck again and again and again. Every other brand of Post-its I've ever used has required one of these. This is no particular brand, it's just a cheapo one I get in the craft shop up the road. They do 3 for 2. You've got the repositionable, the permanent and the semi-permanent. Not quite sure what the difference between semi-permanent and repositionable is, but you know, maybe you can't stick it again. Maybe it comes off, but you can't use it again. I don't know. Anyway, I get those on 3 for 2 and they're really cheap and easy to use. I also have another washi tape. This is just what I'm trying to finish up because it's nearly done. So I thought I'd chuck it in my pencil case, and then when I've got to stick something down, I'll think, oh, I just use that. And then in here, I've got all my pens that I use for planning, plus a couple of drawing pens. So, oh, there's my white pen. For weeks, I've been saying in my classes, I'm trying to find my white pen, but I don't know where it is. It's in the bottom of my pencil case. Who would have thought? So there you go. I found my white pen. Then I've got my little ruler. I don't use this very often, it's just there just in case I need it. I actually use my big ruler most of the time. But you know, if you're out and about, then you don't want to be carrying a 30cm ruler around with you. This is just a quickie 6-inch ruler, and I just, you know, use it for drawing lines, measuring stuff, that sort of thing. That should have a lid on. That's my Bic ballpoint. It's got a blue lid, but it's actually a black pen. I don't write in blue Bic. I use this for drawing. I've also got my Japanese Pentel brush pen, which I adore. This thing comes with cartridges. It's refillable. And it's got India ink in it. It's jet black ink, and it's waterproof, and it's wonderful, and I love it. And, oh, beautiful thing. So, I use that a lot. Then I have my pencil and eraser. This is the pencil that I prefer drawing with. This is my Pentel mechanical pencil. It's a 0.3. I love this pencil. It makes so much difference drawing with a 0.3 to a 0.5. I don't know why, but it does. And this is my eraser. I love this eraser for carrying around because it's clips, so and it's pencil shaped and it doesn't take up a stupid amount of room in your bag. I've got my thin Bic. This is exactly the same crystal Bic, but it's the fine point one. It's a 0.5 instead of a 0.8. I have, this is the 0.7 version of the 0.38 pen I showed you earlier, the waterproof gel pen, but this is a roller pen. So it's quite a lot thicker, but it's good for colouring in because it's waterproof. Again, it's just a cheap gel pen I picked up in Ryman's. I have my Colito, which I took my other Colito out and I'm about to take this one out because look, this has happened to both my Colitos now. I'm getting really fed up with it. Both of them they just fall apart. And this is really bothering me now. I suppose I could just I should probably replace them, just get 2 more. And it's the original one, it's not a knockoff, it's the original high-tech Colito. I'm really annoyed with it because it just falls apart. My other one did the same, but I've got so many of these refills, I probably really should get some more barrels. I've got a silver and gold pen, which is a recent addition to my pencil case. These are the Uniball Signos. I've also got a white Signo that I think was in my other pencil case, my drawing pencil case. In fact, actually, now I think about it, I should probably take this pen out that I keep looking for and put it in here. And then my white Signo can go in there when I find it. What have I done with it? Oh, it's in my other pencil case. There we go. It's in Kevin. So I'll get that out in a minute. No, I'll get it out now or I'll forget. There we go. My white Signo needs to be in this one, not that one. So there you go. I've got my white, my gold and my silver. I'm doing a lot of pastel art recently and charcoal and smudgy stuff with pen and metallics over it. I have a huge artist crush on Kristen Beausharif at the moment. She does the most amazing work and I really want to learn that style because it's a bit messier than I normally do, but it's still dry media, which I'm okay with. I don't mind messy if it's dry, but messy paint I don't like. So, and I need to work on my dry media skills, so I'm kind of using her art as a mentor to have a go at other stuff and try a different style. So I've got those in there. I've got my highlighters, obviously my 6 highlighters in my 6 colours that I use. These are the friction highlighters. What I like to do is use a permanent pen but a erasable highlighter, because sometimes I highlight off the wrong things. I don't mind scribbling things out, but I don't like highlighting something and then finding I've highlighted the wrong thing. That confuses me. I'd rather cross out something that's in permanent pen but be able to erase my highlighters. I love these things. These are my favourite things ever. And then I've got my colour coding pens. I don't use these all the time. They're mostly for my Chronodex. And the only reason I've got these in here is because, like I said, my Colito met with a strange thing. I don't know what happened to it, but it did. So I've got a light blue, a dark blue, a red, a purple, a pink. I've got a spare pink there, which is a watercolour. These Papermate flares are actually water soluble, so it's a big, thick, chunky felt tip, but it's good for colouring in. And I should have an orange one. I should have an orange one. Where's my orange one? Orange one, where are you? Hello. Oh, orange one. Oh, orange. Oh, here we go. Orange and green. I knew I should have some more. So that's those. Those are the Sharpie pens. They don't bleed on anything, so I love them. Shove that down there. And there, and that in there. As you can see, it holds a huge amount. I should probably put the TARDIS thing on here actually. And then I've got, it's not really a pencil case, well it's not a pencil case, but I've got my new, isn't this colour beautiful? That's actually quite close. It's actually a real candy apple red. I mean, it's gorgeous. If I was going to invent a nail varnish that was called candy apple red, it would be this colour. But it's red, so it doesn't show up on camera properly. But it's beautiful. I can't even tell you something that it looks like. It's just such a gorgeous colour. Anyway, this is the apple Hobonichi cover. I love my donkey. I really, really do. But it's a bit embarrassing pulling a donkey cover out in the middle of Costa to do some work in, frankly. The sparkly pencil case is one thing, but the donkey cover was a step too far. So I'm actually using my donkey cover for another A6 book that I've got that just sits by my bed. It's like a one line a day kind of book, and I've put it on there. So in here I've got some small diary stickers, the shorter ones that fit in the back pocket, and they're just odd bits and pieces of ones that I've almost finished but not quite, so I'm going to use those up. So those live in the back of here, like so. And green, go in, there we go. I've got my, this is the Hobonichi stencil. I got this one because I wanted the little bullets and things and stuff like that. You do need a very fine pen for this, but it's quite easy to use. If you use a smaller than a 0.5, so you want like a 0.4 or a 0.38 or something like a Colito or whatever, it works really well. It works beautifully with the Hobonichi pens, which I'll come to in a minute. I do wish I'd got the blue one. I can't really use any of the others, but I do wish I'd bought the blue one. Miss Maddie, hi baby. So if any of my friends in the UK are putting in a Hobonichi order, let me know, because I'll give you the money so that you can order a blue one for me and drop it in the post. Because it's really not worth me buying that on its own. I've completed my Hobonichi order and I've already been hit by a £30 custom fee. It's not really worth me paying another 1,500 yen to get one of these. But if anybody happens to be putting in an order from the UK, then I'd like a blue one please, and I'll pay you for it. So that lives in there because I use it with my diary. I've got my coloured sticky notes, my transparent flags that I use all the time. Those live in there as well. I've got some more stickers and things and transparent stuff at the back. And then I use the Hobonichi pen that came with my 2015 order. This is the Hobonichi Techo 2015 pen. It's the Mitsubishi Uniball, what do they call it? Jetstream? Yes, I think it's called a Jetstream. And it took me forever to work this out the other day because I'm so used to the Colitos. With the Colitos, you don't undo the barrel here. I don't know why I'm opening the barrel, I don't really need to. You don't open the barrel here, you pull the top off and you fill it this way with the full thing. Well, with the Mitsubishis, you don't do that. This bit doesn't come out. You have to unscrew it like that. And then these bits, you hold that bit there and this bit pulls out, and this is the refill you get. It took me forever to find that out. Thank you hugely to Vanny. Vanny knew on Facebook. She very kindly told me how to do that. I was sitting there thinking, well, I can get this off, but then how do I get these out? Because this doesn't come off. So what's going on here? How do I do it? It never occurred to me to pull these things apart. That's just not how things work in my world. But yeah, that's how you refill them apparently. I suppose it would have been obvious if you had a refill in front of you, but I don't have the refills yet. So this is the pen that I'm using at the moment instead of my Colitos. I really like it, and what I might do, ooh, here's an idea. Here's a MacGyvering option I might do. I wonder if that will work. Right. this and this are the same size, then in theory, hang on a minute, got my things tangled up. In theory, you should be able to measure it, chop that off at the right length, and push this bit into here. I may have to try that. I've got one of these that's actually almost run out. There's not much ink left in it, so I might try it with that and see if it works. And if it does, then I can just chop my Calitos down and use those in here. It just means that I probably won't have the right colours on the thing at the top. But, you know, if I have a red at the top and it's actually a purple, that's not really going to make a lot of difference to me. I don't really use red or blue, so to be able to swap that out for colours that I use, like orange or red, orange or... Oh, there's another hole in here. Huh. What's that about then? Sorry. Anyway. Put your pen down and stop playing. That lives in here. So again, that's all contained, and I can just take this if I want to go and work in my Hobonichi. So there's some extra questions that go with this tag. I'm going to go through those quickly. What pencil case are you using, or do you use? Well, the one I use most is this big sparkly one. Why do you use it? Because it's big and sparkly. Where was it from? WH Smith's. Do you carry it about, or does it stay at home? Both. It goes everywhere. It goes around the house with me, and if I go out and I'm going to sit and do any planning or writing or journaling or whatever, I usually just chuck it in my bag. Show us what's inside. You saw that. What was in there that you'd forgotten about? Well, my white pen. Not that I'd forgotten about. I hadn't forgotten about it. I knew I needed it and I wanted it, but I couldn't find it, and it's because it was in the bottom of here. What is your most used or favourite item? Ooh, now. Let me think. I would say, actually, this pen, probably, because I draw with it, I write with it, I do all sorts of things with it. This is the cheapo one I got from Ryman's. It's just a gel ink pen, and it's got a 0.3 metal nib and waterproof ink. It's like pen nirvana. All you people looking for planner piece, I was looking for pen piece, and I found it. Now that you've gone through your case, what will you leave out, if anything? Nothing. I go through my pencil cases on a regular basis, and I will swap things out, like my, you know, my washi tapes or whatever, or my drawing pencil case has in it what I use at the moment, which is mostly dry media, and my pastel pencils. I recently swapped those out. Before that I had stamps and ink pads in there. How often do you go through your case and change things? See answer above. And what are your future plans for your pencil case? New case, new content, what is on your wish list? I don't really have anything on my wish list, I don't think. No. I wanted a new pencil. Well, I didn't even want a new pencil case actually. I was using, what was I using? I was using my pink one, which is where I've got all my other pens. Anything that I'm not currently using is in my other pencil case. I used to carry that around, but it just got too heavy with everything in it. And then I was in WH Smith's and I saw this and I went, ooh, shiny! And I purchased it because you do. Well, I do. You know, who could resist this? How could you see this sitting on a shelf and not pick it up? And it was the last one. There was no way I was leaving it there. It's like Cinderella's slipper. In fact, that's what it reminds me of, Cinderella's slipper. It's so beautiful. I couldn't not have it. I didn't need it, but I couldn't not have it, and it was only a £5. So, what's that, $7, $8? So, at that price, you can't say no. Well, I couldn't anyway. So that's it, that's the tag. I don't have anybody to tag, but if you want to do it, off you go. Go play, and put the link down below underneath in the comments so I can come and watch your video. Bye.